Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They hella deep, 20 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your champion host, Jamal. Reeves is not here today, which means I have a co-host, and I'm not going to introduce him yet, but I know Reeves left note that his third mic will be here, so let me just make sure that he's arrived on time. Brian, are you here?
I've been here the whole. I was here first.
That's actually not how that works. I literally was here first. I almost always am here first. So that's Brian's already fuck up for the episode right at the top. Again, this is going to be an episode where we really understand why I need a co-host outside of Reeves and Brian, because Brian is not pulling his weight, and I just had to say that right now. I had to put it out there.
Is that a fat thing?
What?
Is that a fat thing?
That's so wild that you would take it there immediately just because I said pulling weight.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that I would never say that about you.
Since you got sexy, you always say things like not pulling your weight. So the doctor said that you gotten too sexy.
The doctor, the doctor didn't say I got too sexy. The doctor said I got too non-horny.
Right, but you have been getting more sexy. I know, which is weird that as your sexiness has gone up, your horniness has gone down.
Yeah,
because of the surgery.
I thought it was going to be the opposite.
And Reeves, of course, said no more old bits, but Reeves isn't here.
Reeves is not here, so those rules don't matter. So
yeah.
we can do that. We have a special guest co-host today. Longtime fan of the show, Top Chef, not this podcast.
New fan of the show. We've
new
learned.
Time fan of the show.
New 1.5 speed fan of the show.
This podcast, he listens to it at 1.5 speed, so he can really fly through all of our bits and stuff.
Do I sound insane at 1.5? Because I talk fast as it is.
No,
we'll find out. Oh.
No.
I haven't even gotten to finish my intro of the guest, and you're like, "This
He's
is."
already asking me questions.
Do you see?
What do I
see
do?
why I need help? Do you see why
do
I
just
need help?
Ignore him.
It was
Yeah,
almost
you
rhetorical.
Yeah, until I finish
it
introducing the guest. The guest isn't here, Brian. Do you understand how that works? Like, it's the mystique of the show I'm trying to build at the top for our audience, because they're like, "Oh, I wonder who the guest is. I wonder if they've got a woman on the show." And now that's
show
ruined.
Me the real you, Mystique, and then she's all blue.
Our good friend Tony Lazzeroni is here.
What's up, boys?
Tony? Thanks for
now
I
can speak normally.
Yeah, now you can talk
okay.
freely. Thank you
Got
for joining the podcast today as the co-host. You have some big shoes to fill. Reeves notoriously wears a size 16. So
I'm a 15, so I'm pretty close. I'm almost there.
You have an inch. A foot. Or is it an inch? No, it's an inch.
Neither.
I mean, I felt offended when you used the pulling your own weight line, so we'll just be
Okay, so now I'm getting attacked. That doesn't happen when Reeves here. All right, there's a different vibe. That's all right.
We're just feeling it out.
Tony, you used to, or maybe still do, I just don't know, have a podcast. Do you still have your podcast?
Not so much anymore. No, I did it while I was so I moved out here for film school and interviewed a bunch of my classmates.
Where's out here, Tony, for the listeners?
Chicago.
Chi-Town.
They are paying me extra to be on at such a late hour. Let's be honest.
Yeah. You moved out there, and then you moved in with Hannibal Buress immediately, and you started going to film school, right?
Yeah, no, we've been real tight ever since. You know, his whole move to music that
Yeah.
was really because I had instruments laying around, and you know, he was just like, "Fuck comedy, moving to
You
music."
told him to do that Cosby joke too, right? He was like, I don't know, man, it seems too rough. And you were like, do it. You got to take him down.
I didn't move here until after he'd done the Cosby joke. So let's
But
get
you
the
were in
timeline
contact.
straight.
Yeah, you guys
You
were
were
friends
contact.
before that.
Yeah, the guy pops up in DC all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just so everyone knows, Tony was a big influence on Hannibal Buress.
Yep.
Actually doing that very funny Cosby bit that kind of set off a wave.
100% took down
Yeah.
Cosby. 100% did it.
I am also going to go ahead and take partial credit for Broad City just in turn from that. So
That
right.
what that Alana got taken down for doing for
All right.
doing things that she wasn't supposed to do, for acting out of her self.
sure.
All right.
She
So
did that
hey,
too.
you know what? You have such a powerful influence in
Yeah.
Chicago and
I
the
do.
scene. So what was your podcast about again?
It was the Film Student Podcast, and I interviewed classmates and just talked about the program because I couldn't really find any information about it before I joined the program. But
And the program being
being the Harold Ramis Film School at Second City.
Now, is it
Ghostbusters.
Ramus or Remus?
It is Ramis.
It's
It is
Ramus.
Ramis.
Okay. Then me and my black friends have been pronouncing it wrong for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yep. Yeah.
I've been telling my friends.
That's gonna have waves throughout the black
Yeah.
community now that we just straightened that out.
Yeah. Me and my black friends, they'd be like, hey, what's your friend Tony doing? I was like, he's at the Harold Ramis's film school in Chicago. And now I realize it's Ramus.
Ramis.
And there's not another S at the end?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I've
I
messed
would
it up.
then you would be remiss to say his name correctly.
Wow, that's fun.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. So what did you learn from your podcast about the school?
Shit. Not a lot about the school, honestly.
All right.
No, it was more learning about the people that were in it. So got to interview all my classmates, get to know them. One of which is now actually a correspondent on The Daily Show. So
Wow.
Which one?
Grace Schmidt. So she started doing. She's like on there probably once every couple weeks nowadays.
Wow.
I was hoping it was gonna be Stephen Colbert.
Yeah. Who is now a correspondent on The Daily Show. They went completely retro and brought everybody, like all the old heads back.
Well, I'll start watching it then. Then I'll start
Yeah.
watching it.
Hey, I started watching the Jon Stewart ones, and it felt like
Me
I was
too.
like, "Where am I?" Because this
was
feels
like-
right.
It was,
This
it
feels
was
right.
a well-oiled
feels-
glove that had been underneath my
Yep.
mattress for a long time. Pulled it out,
Yeah.
turned the baseball hat on, pulled it out underneath my mattress, put it on. Oh, baby.
I was like, "This feels good."
I was ready to shag
It
some
was-
flies.
It was.
I was
Hit
like-
them.
And so this was another thing I talked about with my black friends. I was like, "What were they doing with that black guy all those years?"
Roy Wood Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Roy Wood Juniors. That's what we call him. Okay, so did you become a popular guy on campus with this podcast? Everyone like,
No.
hey, can I
No.
get on your podcast?
I did have some people that I think like resented me long term because I didn't approach them to be on the
Oh,
podcast.
We know what
'cause
that's like.
I did once
Yeah.
a week, and
Yep.
I was like, just ask.
Yep.
I was trying to schedule them as much as possible, like to not
Mhm.
have to work hard, but.
People want you when you put on a podcast to ask them
And this is how I knew
out of the blue.
This
to
is
come
how
on
I
their
knew that if I
podcast.
wanted to be on PodChef, that I needed to come ask you
Mhm.
guys if I could be
Mhm.
on PodChef, which
And
I
look
did
what
do.
happened. And look what happened.
Yeah.
It's called initiative.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe the text message you sent was, "Why the fuck haven't you asked me to be on the podcast yet?" And I was like, "You haven't asked to be on the podcast yet." And you're like, "Well, can I?" And I was like, "Sure." He's like, "Fucking finally."
Mhm.
And so here we are.
Take
I'm
our good
really-
friend Rachel's way of doing it, which is sending us, if you want to get on the podcast, send us
Yeah.
a lengthy, very complimentary email.
Yes, you will be on.
We'll put you on so fast.
I just like to go on like a verbal tirade through text message and
Mhm.
just berate Jamal until
That
I'm on the
works too.
show.
It
works
does
too.
work. Yeah, I'm used to that.
I am here today, so
Mm-hmm.
Were you doing the podcast during the? No, I'm going to say the word no longer anymore. Pandemic. Ooh, let's just call it.
Plandemic.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Was it?
That's
was
this
it?
podcast stance.
Was it during that?
that's what mostly killed it because other people didn't have the ability to do like remote stuff. This is
Oh, so
this
they
is a
weren't really
post-pandemic
tech-savvy.
thing. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was my gig. So
Okay. All right. Sorry that the pandemic shut you down.
Sorry.
What if you had
and fucking
pivoted?
Food Lion, right?
What if you? Why are you making food references to Tony?
Because it got shut down. They shut down restaurants and food places. Tony's podcast and Food Lion got shut down. And
Okay.
also so did America because Joe
Okay.
Biden pandemic.
All right, we're gonna keep going. Tony, what if you had pivoted and you just did episodes on your own talking about what you had learned up to that point?
I'm not that interesting. I'm not that. I'll just
Okay.
be honest. I
Alright.
comment on other things. That's where
You could have made a YouTube channel where you comment on other things. That seems to be
People
popular.
love that.
People love that.
Oh, I got on TikTok. That's my
That's
my
okay.
space.
Nice.
No, it's
Brian
TikTok.
has always
It's not
said that.
MySpace.
Brian is
They're different.
Brian
I
has
learned
always
that the hard way.
Brian has always said that the less talented go to TikTok. That's what Brian has always thought. And I said, well, that's not always true, Brian. He was like, watch. Anyone who mentions they're on TikTok, watch. They're probably not that interesting. And so you had just said that. That's something you said, Tony. You said you weren't that interesting. And then you're on TikTok.
So I was right, I guess.
That's where I belong.
That's not what I believe.
Are you still on TikTok?
Yeah.
You doing the dances?
No.
Okay.
What do you do on TikTok?
No one wants to see a 6'6" guy dance.
That's all I want to see.
Yeah, that's all I want to see, actually.
It's either that or 14-year-olds. And I pick you because I don't want to go to jail.
What do you do on your TikTok?
I haven't posted a lot. I'm just on there. I'm just I'm perusing.
You're lurking.
Yes. Yeah.
For a while, we were trying to get notes on how to be better on social media. Can you help us? What could we do on TikTok to make it better?
I've been saying stuff like, hey, Brian, just post more regularly.
Yeah, no, that's a big one. Post regularly, and also just try different stuff until something hits, and then lock into that and do nothing else ever again.
Yeah, ever again.
Otherwise, your audience hates you.
Yep.
So
I've also heard that you should go whichever like creative is doing stuff on like their Instagram or TikTok. You should just copy that.
Yeah,
and do it.
Copy it, and then also repost another video that's a side-by-side with somebody doing like some sort of woodworking or something like that. And
then you're just doing that. You're going,
yeah.
Wow.
God, I'd be so good at that. I would be so fucking.
Or you just like move your mouth when you're doing like a quote from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you like karate too?
Yeah.
And then
60 like that Ron Burgundy, 60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah, and everyone's like, whoa, shit.
Yeah, and like the video behind you is them pouring Coca-Cola on a battery on a car.
That does work. That shit'll take the corrosion right off the battery. I know that. It also tastes fucking delicious.
It works every time.
No cap right there.
Is that what they say in Chicago?
Well, that's probably something you learned from Hannibal, right?
That's TikTok. That's TikTok right there.
Tony, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
Well, first I'm gonna make a comment.
Okay.
The other day I bought ticket to a concert I'm very excited about, and I want to tell you about it. And I don't know if you have the Chicago version if you're going to, but I'm sure you are. It's Incubus performing all of Morning View and the hits with Coheed and Cambria opening. I bought one ticket to MSG by myself, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
You wanted that?
I've had multiple friends ask me. I've not bought a ticket yet for it, but I did pre-download the album. So I'm waiting for that to come out. I'm trying to decide if I like the new bass player or not. I was not a Ben Kenny fan. So
he was the old bass player.
He was the one that replaced Dirk. Dirk was my dude back in the day. Back when they did Morning View. Dirk is the bass player on Morning View. But this redone one, it is a woman now, and I forget her name off the top of my head.
And you're out. With that, you're out. Now you have to wait and see.
I mean, I'm totally a misogynist. Let's just be honest about that.
All right. That is also the stance.
Get on the table.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm in good company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jamal.
Yes.
I love women.
I'm the good company.
My mom's a woman. Love them.
Oh God, we don't have time for that.
I have a sister.
Again. We don't have time for this.
Okay, get the ticket. Go. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I've never seen them live.
Really?
And I've wanted to. Well, because I'm not Surfer Dude Cool Bro no more. I was, and I stopped doing that.
But that's when they were like touring more back in the day.
Well, back in the day, I lived in a place that was nowhere near any concerts. I grew up where you could not go to concerts because it was like 4 hours away. Chincoteague Island, Virginia.
Chincoteague, Virginia, where the horses roam.
Was that a word?
Yep.
Yeah, CHINCOTEAGE.
Shinkatige.
UE. Shit.
You probably are more familiar with acetate.
Where Misty's from.
Yeah.
I know
Girls
man
love that
asses.
shit.
You
Girls
what?
love Misty. Bitches
I'm
love
sorry.
Misty.
Hold on, Tony. What was that?
I know man asses. Manassas, Virginia.
That's a place too. Yeah, that's
Man
Northern
asses.
Virginia.
Too. Yeah, but it's not. It's not.
Wait,
close
where are you
enough
from
to-
originally, Tony?
Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you don't have to know anything about.
I did go to Virginia
Shinkatige.
Tech though, so I do.
Yeah.
I do need to know.
That's
knows some stuff.
so far away. That's
Yeah.
It's so far away from your.
Tony was there in 2009 when the shooting happened.
2007, but yes.
Is that a joke? Why are you sharing that?
Because Jamal likes to take things to a dark place.
You know what videos I started watching recently, and I shouldn't watch them because it makes you feel like a psychopath, and also I'm gonna go down some Joe Rogan shit.
Uh-huh.
It's like this guy, he dissects like serial killers and like murderers
Their brain.
getting interrogated,
Oh.
and he'll be like, you see now he changes his stance and he looks down on the ground. This is because he's getting ready to pretend to be crazy. And I watch so much of that now, and I feel like a crazy person because I shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Now you're just
Have
studying.
You picked up
There's a
anything?
certain point where it stops being like for entertainment, and it's just that you're just trying to learn how to be a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, it never hurts to know things. I want to be a jack of all trades and, of course, a master of none.
Yeah, because
Susan,
you don't
sorry.
like that term master.
I do not. I live in the biggest room in the house.
Mm.
Hmm.
Tony, you watch The Bear? That's where you are.
You call that the house Negro bedroom?
That's the smallest one. That's
Wow.
under the stairs.
Wow. Tony, you see why I need help?
Tony,
Yeah.
you see The Bear? That's where you're from, right?
Yeah. I got friends that have been on the Bear and background bits and stuff like that.
Maddie Matheson, your friend?
No.
Okay.
I wish. All the Chicago shows too. Like everybody out here has been on the Chicago shows in the background for something.
Nice. Which show you in?
I haven't tried yet. I don't.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not an on camera guy. I'm behind the camera.
Come on, man. You're not with that attitude. You won't be on the camera.
Well,
You got to
Oh.
get on. You got to get on the camera, and then when you're there doing the stuff, be like, "Hey, I'm actually pretty good at this stuff too."
look, they just never really need bouncers for those, which is probably
That's
all
not
I'm
true.
trying to
Empire
get,
does.
Whenever I'm watching a show, if there's some six guy in the back, I'm like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
He's clearly a director.
I
Why
can't-
is he in the
yeah.
background?
Everyone's back just eating nice dinners.
Yeah.
There's like, and I see a 6'6" guy. I'm like, that guy's gonna do something. And then if
Yeah.
he doesn't, I'm like, well, why was he there?
Why was he there? That's such a waste of all that potential.
If he's not gonna dunk a basketball while I'm watching, then I don't want to watch this at all.
I assume it's like the director's cousin or something who had to get a line in or something, a cameo. I'm like, we get it. You're
Yeah.
connected.
I'm in things because of a favor. That's all it is.
Italian
Such a-
beef or hot dog?
Hot dog,
Chicago dog?
Chicago style. Yeah, got to have that
Yeah.
sport pepper on there.
Mm-hmm. Tomato,
Yuck.
pepper,
Mhm.
Yuck.
seeds.
Yuck.
I was so
Yuck.
disappointed when I went to Chicago with Brian and
You know how Jamal
John
eats
Heiser.
his hot
Even though
dogs?
you've already talked about
French style,
Girl and the Goat since you
Uh-huh.
this season.
He loves
I
that.
heard that.
Yeah.
Girl and the Goat was fantastic.
It was. I was just the dummy. I didn't know how it worked.
That's right, you were there, Tony. That was nice.
It's
Yeah.
delicious. Girl and the Goat is wonderful.
Jamal eats
Yeah.
hot dogs with cheese.
French style.
He puts American cheese on his hot dogs.
Con fromage.
Have you done the whole hot dog sandwich debate on here yet? Is a hot dog a sandwich?
So we started to do it once,
Okay.
Mhm.
but what happened is that we got shut down.
Yeah.
And it's because
Portillo's sent us a message and they said no.
They said, please
Wow.
don't use our name and likeness while spewing so much hate
About hot dogs.
about
being
hot
a
dogs
sandwich or not.
and
'Cause I
Italian
ca-
people.
Because I kept making that conversation that like poppy seed hot dog buns is like the opposite. It's like gentrification because some of the poppy seeds start falling off as you're eating it.
Mm.
So they didn't like that. Well, that's fine.
And of course, I was like, poppy seed, like heroin. I kept saying that a lot too.
Yeah, you kept
Yeah.
saying the hard H.
I kept
so.
saying heroin.
Heroin. So, yeah, we've straddled the line of that debate, but we're not trying We're not trying to go crazy.
No, you don't debate anymore because there's also no more voting anymore.
Yeah, we
Voting's
don't
out,
vote
so we
anymore.
don't
Just so you know,
debate.
I know this is a voting year, but Tony, if you really want to do your service, don't vote for any of these turd sandwiches.
Okay. That's the most compelling political argument I've heard all year.
Great. We've turned
Great.
another.
We've turned another. We've turned another, brother. So that's all we need to do.
That's a t-shirt.
That is a t-shirt. Turned another, brother.
Turned another.
All right, let's do a segment we do every week called Chefs I Prepared for You. This is where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night and present it as if we're presenting it to the judges on Top Chef. There will be a winner, but we will not vote. And I will go first. Chefs I prepared for you: curry ground lamb, curry browned rice, and chopped kale. That was my dinner.
You're still doing the
Before I-
lamb thing, huh?
Yeah, before I had to go do some wonderful comedy.
Did you do 2 shows in one night?
Not last night, no.
Okay.
One show. Had to do 3 shows on Friday.
Wow, they really make you work for it.
Yeah, they really making you work for it.
What
So
were you
you're still
working
doing the
for?
lamb thing, huh?
What were you working for?
I was working for them votes.
For them
Working for the
votes?
applause.
Yeah.
Working for the...
How'd that go for you?
It worked out well. Yeah.
Are we
Success.
gonna say it? Are we gonna?
I'm
No,
actually
don't
not
care what
allowed
it
to...
is.
I'm not allowed to talk about it until we do a press release. So
It's like the blank
Ah.
bowl. All we
Yeah.
say is the big show.
yeah, the big show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you can't
Well-
actually use the name of the
Yeah.
competition. I won't even use the T word.
Yeah.
The competition.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we just have to come up with a new name. Like, we know what the name of the competition is called. Maybe we can change it to, like, finger.
Yeah, you are a finger champion.
Yeah, I am a fingering champion.
And it stands for fighting, improv.
Negro,
Knew you were gonna go there.
Group.
You got a second end coming up.
Hit it again.
fighting, improv, Negro group, exercising their rights. The T is silent.
In N-word improv.
So, yeah, that's the competition I was in, and we won the fingering trophy.
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
Needs to be said.
Thank you
Bravo.
so much. So, yeah, I'm still doing the lamb thing. Brian, why do you say that I'm doing the lamb thing like it's like a
I just
bad
think
thing?
having ground lamb is weird.
Why is it weird?
I don't know, man. It seems weird.
People used to eat like mutton was
Yeah.
the standard fare in the
Tell him.
world for
Cook
like
his ass. Cook his ass.
hundreds of years.
Fucking cook his ass, man.
Yeah, people used to bleed themselves to not have colds anymore either. And I still
do that still. Yeah, I still do that.
Because
I
the
felt-
classics don't age. They're
How
called
do you
classics
think-
for a reason.
How do you think Jamal got hot?
Exactly. I fingered
Yeah.
myself to death. Oh,
He's been bleeding himself
yeah,
nightly.
bleeding myself to death. People are like, how'd you lose that weight? Look at these wrists.
Mhm.
Did you
Straight
cook
up
the
blood
chopped
blood.
kale or is it raw?
It's not. It's cooked kale. It's sautéed.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, you guys
Solid.
are like freezing on my screen.
Are we
You-
freezing or
Seems
just
fine for
stopping?
me. Can you hear us?
Okay, you're kind of choppy now. I don't know what's going on. It's messing up again.
It all seems fine on my end.
Same.
Seems like a you problem.
Oh, maybe it's catching. Now it's caught up. We're good now.
There you go.
All right,
Okay.
let's move then so the whole thing shuts down. Chefs, last night it's a prepared, I guess. I mean, I'll say it. It's a Whole Foods frozen dinner.
Hold
called
on, I wasn't done. I just realized. I also had 2 drinks after the fingering competition, 2 shots, and then I went at 3 a.m. to get sugar cookies. So that was the end of
You're
it.
stretching all that into one.
That's all
one
dinner.
meal.
To me, that's all dinner.
So waiting until 3 a.m.
That's all dinner. Anything I eat as the last meal before I go to sleep, the entirety, as soon as it starts to the end, that's my dinner.
You
I'm calling it
partied
that
until 3 a.m. and had 4 drinks,
Yeah,
2
dog.
being shots.
Yeah, dog.
That's not partying.
I know.
That's
I'm right there.
responsible.
I'm right there with you. I'll tell you something right now. I had 2 drinks and it was too much.
Well, because you're so sexy now. You forget
Yeah.
that when
Yeah, I
you get
forgot.
sexy,
Well, you have no blood.
they'll call. Yeah. Oh God. The alcohol.
Yeah.
Your BA level was
It
just
was through the
alcohol.
roof.
Yeah.
That explains why I was swerving back and forth when I was driving.
That will
Just
do it.
joking. Just joking. I didn't drive. Thought I drove home, idiots. I walked. I took ayahuasca and walked home. All right, now I'm done.
Chefs, last night it's a prepared, because I did cook it in the microwave, a frozen meal from Whole Foods called Strong Roots Veggie Masala. And here are the ingredients: Thai jasmine rice, chickpeas, red pepper, cauliflower, water, green beans, tomato pulp, double concentrated tomato puree, ginger, garlic, pea, pre-dried onion, tomatoes, candied grilled tomato, sunflower oil, vegetable stock, coriander, lemon juice from concentrate, spices, cornstarch, turmeric, fenugreek, cardamom, chili powder, paprika
Oh my
powder,
goodness.
fennel seed. It was.
Did you just read off the box?
Picture of the box right here. It was 264 calories.
All right.
And it was surprisingly good.
Was it filling though?
You know, I get full faster now. We've talked about this.
Not on the podcast. You don't
We have
have
talked
to
about this
go
on the
into it.
podcast.
Was it on the podcast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep. I do fat guy shots now. And I get full faster. I also feel like shit all the time. Today I was at a hockey game and all they have there is garbage fried food.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 1.5 chicken tenders and 7 fries, and my stomach has been fucking hurting all day.
Mhm.
But baby, when it comes time to be for fucking swimsuit season, baby, oh goodness, baby,
I don't know if
Been
I want to know
eyeing
what
this.
sexy Brian looks like. That's gonna
it's
be...
never been a thing. It's never been a thing. I've never been sexy. Last time I was sexy was when I was 7 years old.
And he had an earring and a backwards hat.
Hmm.
Is that hat Chicago hat or what is it? Is it White Sox?
It's technically a Sox hat, but it's just shy is what it says on the back.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fucking
I
dope.
got it out of White Sox
SHY.
game.
SHY.
I got it out of White Sox game. Yeah, SHY.
So people know if they talk to you and you're like, oh shucks, I don't know. It's just because you're a little shy.
Or as Hannibal Buress calls it, a clean Sox game.
That is. You know Hannibal Buress' thing now, aside from music, he also does a lot of real estate. I've been hearing on a podcast, he owns a bunch of buildings in Chicago. And he like rents them out. He's like a landlord.
Yeah, he's getting that landlord money.
Imagine he shows up to get your rent.
Yeah. You complain about the AC not working, he shows up.
He works on it for you.
He's a
Seth
landlord
telling you
and
some
the
jokes.
super
Yeah.
for all of his own properties.
You just don't want to spend money on a super. You gotta be a super too.
Yeah. Hands out flyers for his next DJ gig. All right. I don't remember all the ingredients of your dish at all, but
It was
It
10
sounded-
ounces of frozen food. That's all you need to know. Veggie
all right,
masala.
10 ounces of veggie masala. Okay, got it.
Pretty
Tony?
good.
Tony?
9 grams of protein.
So chefs, I prepared for you Chick-fil-A nuggets and a diet lemonade.
Sir, that's a procured, sir.
That is wait. I mean, you don't.
Was it
know
already
how to
at your
make it.
house a day later?
No, I ate it all.
Sir, that's
Oh.
a procured.
Oh, yeah, so that's chefs I procured for you.
You
Fine.
call
I
yourself a
hate
fan
to
of the
agree.
podcast.
You know that I
Fine.
hate to agree with Brian.
You
I
call yourself a
hate it.
fan of the podcast.
I'm
No.
sorry to put you in that position, Jamal.
Brian is technically correct, and so I have to side with him on this
That
one.
is the best kind of correct.
What'd you
What?
have?
What flavor lemonade again?
I had diet lemonade because
Was it pink?
I
Was it
am
yellow?
also on a diet. And
You
it was
doing fat
yellow.
guy shots?
No, I'm just doing low carb.
I did that
Yeah.
once.
Yeah,
We're
down
all
50.
moving weight.
Down
I lost
50
50
so far.
pounds doing the low carb too.
I lost 90 last time I did it, and then we had this little pandemic thing that
I did that too.
that I
Mhm.
was locked up and not moving for
Mhm.
a year and some change. So
Did you get the grilled nuggets then?
no, I actually those
remember
are
they're not bad.
surprisingly not bad. They're really
Yeah.
not bad. So I can
And
get
they're
the
good,
12
but you
count.
can't have those as the sauce though. And
Right.
that's the best part of Chick-fil-A. Other than the fact that I agree with their morals and their stances,
Yep.
that's the best part. Second best part is the sauces.
Got it. So Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby, those are your
Oh
standard-
baby,
your-
I make I call that Saturday. I go by
Brian
the Hobby
has a
Lobby.
shirt.
not on Sunday.
Yeah.
Never.
I
on
almost said
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah. Mhm. Brian has a shirt that says, "If I can't marry you in Chick-fil-A, I'm not interested."
My
It
favorite
says-
thing.
So
My
please.
favorite thing about Chick-fil-A is here in Chicago that I've noticed is that on Sundays, that's when they have all their lawn care done. So they have
nice.
people working on Sundays, but they're just the people that can't afford to.
They're not the
have
white
Sundays
teenagers
off.
that usually work at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's so kind of them to give the workers something to do on Sunday. The
You
Lord's
do
Day.
8-piece or you do I forget what the
I'm full
pieces
12.
are.
Full 12.
Okay.
Full 12, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
I was a good boy all day and
He
made
earned
sure
it.
that I didn't have more carbs so that I can have the 12 piece. That was calculated work on my part.
Nice.
Not bad.
Okay. So there's no vote.
We don't vote anymore.
I'm just gonna say Tony won.
Yeah.
We went from
'Cause-
18 minutes to 30 minutes so fast. I've been watching the clock. It's 18 minutes. I was like, we'll fly through chefs I prepared for you. We did not.
No. That's why I started when I did, because I said, "Oh, this is going to take 10 minutes." All right, and that's the advantage of being the host, advantage chef. We'll be right back after this.
Pod Chef.
And we're back, Pod Chef. This is Top Chef Season 8, Episode 4, Advanced Chef. This is what an episode this was. And now I see a sous chef is joining the recording for the video tier. That's the first sous chef that is of the feline variety, I think, that we've had on the show.
One of two. I have the one that's much more social that is on top of me right now, and the other that's sitting across the room just quietly judging me.
That's good.
She's
You want a different kind of sous chef. You don't want all the sous chefs to be the same.
I feel like a cat is more of a head patissier. Is more of a patissier.
A patissier.
They're more of judges. This is my
Because
Tom.
they do this.
Yeah, there's my Tom.
They do the bread.
A patissier from San
Do the bread.
Antonio.
What are your cats' names?
Annie and Britta, because I'm hardcore
Fucking
fan.
community fucking nerd.
Yep.
You fucking Mark. You Mark for community.
Did you get the community bit out?
Yeah, I do like community though.
Tony,
Probably due for a rewatch. Actually, thanks for the reminder.
Tony, what did you think of this
It's
episode?
actually good watching it straight through.
I tend to start halfway through season 1, and then I'll go because I don't need to watch the weird it's kind
Figuring
of
it
got
out.
heart kind of thing. Yeah, when they're trying to when they're still kind of stepping, they got baby steps, not quite figured it out yet.
When they're taking network notes.
Yeah,
And after
yeah.
that, they're just like, fuck
Yeah.
this.
Tony, what did you think of this episode?
Jamal wants to move the show along.
Understood. Completely understood.
I'm disappointed that I got this episode, but I did.
We'd like to invite you to one of the live season episodes that we're going to be doing soon because the live season starts in March 20th. So we'll have you back.
All right, we can do that.
Our
Are you actually
dance
going to remember
card's
this
filling
one?
up so fast.
Yeah,
was that?
you're just rescheduling guests now. That's
This is where we are in the podcast. We've done, what is it now, 11 seasons? This is what happens.
I told Audrey she'd do the new season too, so we got to put a spot for Audrey too.
Okay, who's that again?
Audrey, former DC. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Matano.
Oh, Matano?
Yeah.
Yes, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's doing it. She did it in such a great way. She came to one of my shows.
Yep.
While
perfect.
there, she was like, "Hey, you still doing that podcast?" Kept
Perfect.
talking about the podcast.
Nice.
I was like, "Do you want to do the
Nice.
podcast?"
Nice.
Another great way.
did-
Another great way
you-
to get on the podcast.
You did
Just
not. Well,
flattery.
it's not a great way for you because you're so socially inept that when someone keeps talking on the podcast, you don't put it together. Oh, they might want to be on the podcast.
No, I'm like, this person likes the podcast.
Like this
Wow.
person's obsessed with my podcast. They can't stop talking about
They
it.
just love my podcast.
I'm not going to
so
offer
much.
to have them on, even though I'm friendly with them.
Not that they're just like trying to use me to get to clout. Fucking get the pod chef rub.
Yeah, that pod chef bump. You should start your TikTok up again after this. You're gonna
You get that
fucking
pod
through the
chef
roof.
dry rub.
That's true. That's true. I will have 1 million followers in, at
2
least
years.
4 or 5 years.
Why do you hate this episode? Because it sucked.
You hate tennis?
Just not a big tennis fan. Like
Okay.
honestly, no. It's this. No, I do like the quickfire in this one though. The quickfire was fun, but the actual competition, it's just everybody bitching at Jamie the whole time. That's really all it is.
Well,
you're,
it was
a
called
Jamie
for.
fan.
Oh no,
Jamie apologist.
Okay, you're a Jamie
No,
apologist.
this game was over the minute they picked the teams.
Yep.
Because once they put everybody on orange, I was like, cool, orange team's winning, hands down. There it was.
Spike called it.
Stacked.
Yeah.
Spike called it. So let's talk about the quickfire challenge. The quickfire challenge because it was an ad. It was an advert for Swanson.
Hell yeah, it was. We're Swanson broth in it.
The chefs prepared a stuffing dish. All cutlery and utensils had been removed from the kitchen, so the contestants were forced to improvise. Uh-oh. They had to improvise
Oh,
tools. And
look
the
out,
winner
finger challenge next year.
earned $20,000 before taxes.
That's wild. For a
That's
quick fire,
crazy. For a
20
quick
G's?
fire.
Mhm.
And we're going to talk about the person who won the quick fire and how they celebrated, because it was nuts to me. So why don't we play a clip of Fabio telling us what it's like to do this quick fire?
You got it, Toots.
The lid of a jar, so it's my spoon for today. Ask a chef to cook without the tools is like to ask to a surgeon to do an open heart surgery with only his finger. I see rack where all the pots and pans are, and I grate the cheese on the rack. That is genius. Grated Parmesan.
He was so proud of himself for
Yeah.
that.
I'm not sure Fabio knows the advances in technology in the surgery room, because most surgeons now actually do only use like
Yeah,
two fingers
the little
on
things.
a device. So it's actually not that crazy that a surgeon would do a surgery with just their fingers, because they have so many tools now. But I understand what he's saying. If you take a surgeon's tools away, then it makes sense. But anyways, I'm not sure.
And what he was doing was definitely equivalent to surgery, saving someone's
Same
life.
thing.
Can we
Same
can we
thing.
talk about something? He's grating cheese on one of the racks. How filthy do you think that rack
I
was?
thought the exact same thing. I'm
He's
like, this
gritty.
is so horribly
Yeah.
unsanitary. That is not a post-pandemic
Nope.
adjustment that he did there.
Nope.
All of it was. I mean, who was it that was using the like pepper grinder to cut
Ugh.
meat?
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
got
we don't do
everyone's
that
hands
again.
on it.
Yeah.
Let's not use the pepper again.
Ugh. God. This is the worst. Like, this is the stuff we did when we were like, haha, there will never be a global pandemic.
I'm gonna live forever.
Yeah. So Trey starts using liquid nitrogen.
To break
I
up
got-
his stuff.
Yeah, to break up his stuff. I got scared because he was like pouring it on and then immediately touching it with his hands. I was like, I don't know if you should be doing that quickly.
But
But
it's like smashing it with a pan.
yeah.
That's
so-
smart though.
It was a good move. I was impressed by
Yeah.
it. But I'm like, it's got to take him longer to cook then.
Yeah.
It's going to cook unevenly.
But then Carla makes an undone Dante quinoa.
He said you said this was
Il-
he said,
il-
why'd you make it al dente? And she said, no, I said undante.
Yeah, undante.
Very Jamal, your
And he
wife crushed that joke.
Fucking
That was
she destroyed
such
this
a funny
episode.
joke.
This whole
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I was like, people ask me, what drew you to Carla? Watch season 8, episode 4, and then
Yeah.
ask me that question again.
Yeah.
And then they usually don't. They just come back and they go, we get it.
They go, you're a lucky man.
They go, you're a lucky man.
And I said, I'm gonna shake your hand, sir.
Yeah, and then I go, well, don't shake this finger because she cut it off once. When I asked her to chop, she asked me to hold something while she was chopping.
Are you the one
Um,
that she shouts hootie hoo?
Yep.
To? Is that
Yep.
you the hootie hoo?
I'm the guy
Got
off
it.
screen who started that.
I
yeah.
never put that together.
Yeah. Well, if you ever go shopping with me and you're walking around and you hear someone say "hoodoo," you know what it is.
That's the sound of the
Of the cops coming through.
yeah, screaming hooty hoo when you see cops.
Yeah, I know the song you're referencing. I just don't remember how it goes.
It's Outcast.
I don't know. So let's talk about all day. Trey wins the quick fire and celebrates like you would if you won the show. Can you play that clip of him celebrating winning?
You got it, Toots.
Giving me 20 grand in immunity, it's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, Swanson, call me up.
Swanson's got me.
I was slightly weirded out by the laugh before, but now hearing it without seeing the video, oh my god, that is creepy.
That's called the $20,000 laugh.
That's a 20K laugh, son.
You made some
Oh.
stuffing and got $20,000.
He
That's
got
how you're gonna
so
laugh.
excited. He was so excited when they announced it. He was like, "Yes, yes, yes!" I was like, "Dog, this is the quick fire. This is not. This you got a immunity. Good for you, but this is just the quick fire."
Did you catch that he was saying he signed up to do Thanksgiving dinner that year and his family did like it?
Yeah, but I understand it because my people are ungrateful. Even when they got a top chef in the house, it ain't good enough still. So I can understand his woes. The elimination challenge. So the chefs were divided into 2 teams. This always goes well when they force them to be in teams. And they had to individually cook for the players in the U.S. Open. The teams designated representatives for head-to-head matchups, which were scored like a tennis match. The first team to reach 4 points got the team victory. Chefs that scored a point for the winning team included though all chefs prepared a dish due to the format, some ended up not serving. These chefs were ineligible to win, but were still safe from elimination, which is the kicker, because they didn't. Did they announce that in the beginning of the rules of like if you don't serve your dish, you're fine?
They must have.
Because that must be why people didn't want their dishes served, which is the big drama of this episode, right?
Yeah.
You have Jamie, notoriously, did not have her dish served, and she gets called out for it by none other than the hairpiece himself, Richard Blaze, at the end of the episode. But
You have a story now. She said, "What
What?
the fuck you just say to me?"
I'm offended by your comment.
She said, "I'm trying my best not to be offended."
yeah, it
He's
was like an
"You
anime.
don't try too
boss
hard because I'm
moment.
trying to offend you, dummy." This is her second time in a 4 episode so far
Not
that
cooking.
she's not done anything
Yeah,
and
she's still
skated
here.
by.
And she's still here. And so she didn't like that. Richard called her out for that. But it's like, you're in a cooking competition. And you're not cooking. Why are you still
They
here?
even said like, "You go first," and she was like, "No."
No. It's like, what?
I think that was Richard's audition for being a host on a cooking show too.
It
It's
worked.
just like I can stir up shit. Watch this.
He's on the elevator show now.
Yep.
Which one
Yes.
of these teams would you want to be on, Tony? Would you want to be on the orange team or the yellow team? If you had an immunity.
If I had immunity, I'd still like the orange team. I just like all the people on the orange team better.
Yeah.
It's just, it was murderer's row. The cousins, Antonia and Mike. You got Carla on there, Dale, Fabio, and of course Marcel and Richard.
Marcel Michel.
My two favorites from this season. Marcel because he is just chaos incarnate, and Richard Blaze because the hair has already been mentioned.
Because he's friggin' Richard Blaze.
Yeah, he's Richard Blaze. So you wouldn't want to be on a team with backstabbing Snake Angelo, Casey.
Nobody trusts Angelo at
2
all.
Tiffany's.
Just do something, Jamie. Put a spike in my drink, Mendelsohn.
The coward
and
Spike
The
Mendelsohn.
coward. If you don't want to be called that, come on the podcast. And then Trey Bake.
2 Tiffany's and a tray bake.
2 Tiffany's and a Trey Bake. Which is my order whenever I go out to eat. So
Let me get 2 Tiffany's and a tray
hey,
bake.
they say, "What do you want to eat here at this soul food restaurant?" I'm gonna get 2 Tiffany's and a Trey Bake. Smother them in pink lemonade.
Then
Is
she's
that
like,
what you had for drinks the other night? Was 2 Tiffany's and a tray bake?
Yep. They said, "What do you want to drink? You're a fingering champion." I said, "Give me 2 Tiffany's and a
he
Trey
said,
Bake."
2 Tiffany's and a
2
tray.
Tiffany's and a Trey Bake.
And since it's February, they're like, "Okay, sir." They just had to do it.
They also asked me, "Would you like any sugar?" And I said, "No, I would like some sugar."
What is sugar? I want sugar.
Sugar. SUGA. Sugar. SHUGA. Sorry. Sugar. Which
Remus.
dish would you want to eat from the dishes that you saw served? Any of them? Were any of them calling to you? This is open for anyone.
Just based on how things went, Carla's obviously.
Carla's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what my wife does. So we can talk about it. She cuts herself when she's chopping in the kitchen. And it's so interesting that not only did she cut herself, but I don't know who made the comment. Maybe it was Spike. And he was like, wow, this is interesting. Because when Jamie cut her finger, she had to sit out a day, get therapy and seek better help online. But when Carla cut her finger off, she just wrapped it up and kept going.
I think it was Dale.
It
was
Because
Dale, yeah, I think
Dale
it
was
was
sitting back in the cut, and he was like,
Yeah.
something. He was like, "She did it. She did
Yeah.
the damn thing."
And so that was interesting to see.
Carla's
brought
into
up.
bloodletting too, apparently. And she's
Well,
just not.
that's
not
the
put
thing
off
my
by it.
people like. It's a thing my people like.
Okay, there is something as a guy who films things. I was noticing a lot about how this show was shot,
Mm-hmm.
and just going back to it after a while. All the interview pieces are extremely close up. Like I'm a little disturbed by how much of the head fills the frame, or like they'll cut off the top of people's heads and stuff. Kind of bothers me about this season.
Do you think it's
feels-
because they had a shitty background, they didn't want to like show it, or like what's a technical reason that they could be doing this, or just like
walk us
poor?
through it.
I know. I think it's just they were trying to lift the MTV style of like all the Real World and those shows, because the shaky cam, like running around all handheld, like all of that is just Real World, World Rules. Like, I sound drunk when I say those two names.
Rules.
Real world rules.
It's like the Rural Juror.
I miss that camera work. It makes me feel like I'm like 16 again, and I don't really have any responsibilities yet.
We are rewatching The Challenge right now, and we're like old seasons. Sorry, not rewatching. This is a first watch for us, and my God, does it feel good watching people who like look like I did in like 2001 and 2002 and 3. Like, oh, I love it so much. It scratches this like great itch, like seeing people that like of a time that I remember that was far enough away that I could be like, oh, remember when we fucking looked like that? It's great. It's amazing.
Did you discover nostalgia in this show?
I think I discovered nostalgia in a way that like that works with. Yeah, maybe it's just outright nostalgia.
Yeah.
Just the basic definition of nostalgia. I figured out what that is. It feels really good. Because this show doesn't do it because everyone's like kind of different, but that MTV culture of that time is like, oh shit, like that's my fucking jam.
When the Miz was
The Miz.
before
I still can't believe he turned that into
Dude did it.
an actual career.
He did it.
It was a goof on the show that he turned into a career in professional
This is why you
wrestling.
put it out
As
there
a
into the
goof.
world. You put it out into the world. You know?
Manifest. He
Yep.
manifests the Miz.
Literally.
What a hero.
Yeah, for us all. So it's got to be noted that Tiffany beat our guy Dale in the heads-up match, which
Dale was not
I
happy
guess. I'm not happy about it either. That happened. Well, let's just go to, we know which team did better. We don't need to talk. We listed off who did better. Let's go to the judges' table. So they bring them out. Obviously, the orange team did better, and they start talking about their dishes and stuff. And wouldn't you know it, that the person who literally had a handicap in this entire episode would win. My wife, Carla Hall. African groundnut soup with baked sweet potatoes, adzuki beans, and peanuts was
maybe just a dash of blood,
and
just
probably
a little
dash of bloodletting.
That
Just to spice it up.
That's the secret.
That's the secret.
It's not that yuzu sauce that Angelo tried to stick.
No,
he puts
in
that
everything.
I put that shit in everything.
Oh, speaking of
fucking do
Angelo, I hate this little snake. Oh, my mackerel that I was so obsessed with getting at Whole Foods isn't good. It's like slimy.
It's slimy.
Hey, can I have some of your salmon, Troy? No. Go ask Tiffany for some of her tuna. Okay, Tiffany, can I have some of your tuna? No.
Trey had fucking immunity, and he played this like an asshole.
Yeah, he should have just gave him the food. And they said, "Why did you cook something right?" Oh, I gave her the stuff because Angela's mackerel was messed up, and I knew you couldn't send me home. Would have been a play I probably would have done, because I'd be like, I can take whatever Tom's going to yell at me for. And I say, I wouldn't have done this if I didn't have immunity, but I only did it so that they could actually be judged and we could put out food and dishes.
And they'd go, wow.
And then I could have also been like, just because I didn't put out a dish, we still had Jamie who did fuck all. So
Jamie, who like hid in the back.
yeah,
the entire time.
literally, when the camera panned to her once, she was like pretending
Behind
to
the
look for
table.
she was pretending to look for nothing.
She's like, oh shit, my contact lens.
It's like, you had glasses on earlier.
They were like, you go first, and she was just like, no. I don't know how to like. This happens a lot in like reality shows. It happens in Drag Race a lot when they're trying to pick roles in their musicals and stuff, and someone's just like, I'm not going to give this up. Like, what do you do in those situations?
Oh,
like,
I'll tell you what I would do. I would hammer their ass every single time I had something to say. So anytime someone asked me a question, how do you think the competition went? I was like, well, as someone who's actually in the competition, unlike Jamie, who did nothing today, again, I would just keep bringing it up. I would get on their nerves so much. That's what I do. And if they got an attitude, I'd be like, tell me where I'm wrong. Did you do anything?
Yeah. I will say, I think Spike's original approach, like his strategy to put her up first, or whoever had the worst dish, which was going to be hers, might have actually worked, because this was a closer match on paper. And if you would have had just give up the easy point up front and not burn, Casey right at the top.
Yeah.
She had a shot to beat somebody, but it just wasn't going to beat Fabio with his handmade gnocchi.
Egos, man. Egos.
Why does everybody on this fucking show make gnocchi? Why is
Fabio loves that shit. He's like, I have an idea, gnocchi. They were like, make the best breakfast. Fabio was like, fuck this shit. Hold up, gnocchi.
gnocchi?
Because people, that's the shirt we're making. You did it all for the gnocchi.
Yeah, I'm buying.
All right,
as long as you make my size.
We already talked about Richard calling out Jamie. Then we have
you have a story now.
Everyone except for Jamie wasn't brought on the yellow team, and neither was Angelo. I think it was just Trey, Tiffany. Well,
Angelo won his thing, didn't he? It was only people who lost their competition from their like one-on-one. I also love how in live, they said they didn't like Blaze's fish. They're like, it doesn't have any flavor to it. But in the judges' table, they didn't mention that at all. No, they were just like, your soup tasted good.
Yeah.
Not that they hated your fish.
Yeah. They should have. See, this is why we kind of see the fixes in. They're already like, let's take it easy on him. He's going to be one of us one day. So let's take it easy on him.
The producers gave him credit for the dig line at Jamie. That was extra credit bonus.
He was like, his fish didn't have any seasoning, but his fucking wordplay did.
But in the back, he was spicy. It was spicy in the back.
Yeah. He fucking cooked Jamie's ass. Oh, shit. All right. So Spike,
I want that character to come back every episode.
Spike got eliminated. Let's listen to Spike going home again.
Spike, please pack your knives and go.
That's cool. It was a good run. I got screwed.
Did.
I'm totally bummed for leaving early. I feel there's a couple chefs that are a little bit worse than me.
I'm out of here. Mendelsohn is out.
Brother. I think some of the people in this team's strategy was not to serve their food. And then maybe other strategy were to screw up other people's food.
I see what's up.
And they cut to Angelo and Jamie.
I'm pissed. Jamie didn't serve her food at all. And she's getting to stay. Listen, Jamie, this is a competition, and at some point, you're going to have to compete.
You have to be in charge of your own dish.
Absolutely,
That's the lesson of the day.
Woo.
That's the lesson
Had
of
some
the day.
tough words for Jamie leaving. Didn't say it to Jamie's face like Richard did. That's why we call him the coward Spike. So yeah, that was the episode. Tony, you have anything you want to plug? You want to plug your podcast?
I want to plug. I got to keep it in the episode. I want to plug the reaction of Marcel not actually winning the challenge, getting picked in the final two, and then losing and cutting to him, and just the pain on his face. That was the most delicious thing in the episode, I have to admit.
All right. So if you want to go back and rewatch this episode, be on the lookout for that clip at the end.
That's my plug.
Tony, it's been great having you on. Thank you for being a guest. We hope you enjoyed yourself here. As I'm doing now, I'm making the promise now that we'll have you back in the live season. I'll remember because I'm the host. Brian will forget as soon as we're done.
Yep.
This sounds like I'm getting off a flight and they're asking me to come fly with them again.
Yeah. Would you like to buy one of these credit cards?
Bye now.
Some miles.
Yeah. I won't buy the credit card, but I'll take the miles.
Okay, great. So we'd love to have you back on the podcast. And really help your TikTok get a bump. Brian, any nice words for our guest or our co-host today?
Did you enjoy yourself? Is this what you wanted it to be?
This was delightful. This is wonderful.
I often feel weird, like that I'm not giving, as I talk over you, that I'm not giving guests enough chance to do what they want to do on the show.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Like, admittedly, we are all in different states on this. Going through video chat, there's a delay, and that just leads to people talking over each other. It's not the same thing as if we were all in a room together. Then I would definitely be talking over you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're taller than me.
Yeah.
I'm very imposing.
Considerably taller than me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you're a nice guy, though. That's the thing people don't get. People don't understand that. You're 6'6" doesn't mean you're big and mean. You can be very nice.
Who is this character?
This is me.
This sweet
This
little
is who I
Brian?
am. Mhm.
Just little guy?
Maybe.
Sweet little guy?
Hmm. You know, I don't know nothing in the world, so everything's brand new to me.
I bet you
Aw.
Brian has not queued up the outro music at all.
It's always cute. It's ready to go whenever.
Okay, so I'm waiting for you to play.
Bet.
We're at the end.
Say less. No
Now
cap.
Now he's doing his reverend character. So until next time, we'll pack our knives and go.
This is fun. This is great, guys. You guys got something here. This is fun.
Ha ha ha. Nice.